Hey everybody, Donnie Gardner here with the Boston Terrier Society. Today what we're going to be talking about is how much do Boston Terriers cost. So I did a little research. I looked at 5 different websites to see exactly how much the average of each of those websites cost. Just to give you a little backstory. So we bought Bella, our Boston Terrier, a decade ago, back in 2009. And my wife, we looked everywhere for a Boston Terrier. We looked at a few different breeders here locally, here in Kansas City, as well as went to a pet store, and then we finally settled on a breeder in Springfield, Missouri, which is a couple hours away, just because we were able to buy Bella for $350, and she's a purebred. So whenever I did this research, it's all about just purebred Boston Terriers. And what's interesting, whenever we went to the pet store to look to see if we could get a Boston Terrier there, it was a weird experience. So we go in and we tell the guy we want to go ahead and look at the Boston Terrier that they had for sale. He let us play with her for a little bit, and then we're like, how much does she cost? And he leaves, comes back, and he's like, I'll tell you kids what, because I like you, I'll take $100 off this dog today, and it's yours. And it was $1,200. Like, at the time, we just graduated college. Like, we didn't have $1,200 to throw down on a dog. But we knew we wanted a Boston Terrier, and we knew she needed to be a purebred. And then that's whenever we went back to looking online and we found a breeder, $350, purebred. We have the papers and everything. So it is possible to find a purebred Boston Terrier under $1,000. But I just want to go through what I found as far as online and what the costs are. So I'm just going to pull it up here. And you can also look this up on BostonTerrierSociety.com/Boston Terrier costs. And you can find this and all the information. But I looked at the 5 major websites, and right now I just kind of have them listed in chronological order from the most expensive, as far as average price, to the least expensive. All of these, I was able to look at 30 different dogs to see what their average price was out of the 30. The only one I couldn't do that for was Craigslist. I could only find 17 purebred Boston Terriers at the time. So the first one is PuppySpot.com. The average Boston Terrier on that site, I went ahead and put it up here in the video, is $2,462. So pretty expensive as far as Boston Terriers. There were some that went as high as $3,500, and that was the same with some of the other sites. As far as if you're not planning on using your dog as a show dog, I personally don't see why you need to spend more than $750 on a Boston Terrier. So if you're planning on doing shows, sure, the bloodline, everything, I could see how that would matter. But if you're just buying a dog and you love Boston Terriers, why not try to find the best value as far as a purebred that's also relatively cheap? So next, the American Kennel Club. You can find tons of breeders on the American Kennel Club website. The average for this is $1,300. So you're going to look at spending a little over $1,000. Greenfield Puppies. That's another great website where breeders can go and post their dogs there. The average on there was $1,031. Puppyfind.com, a little cheaper, $905. And then last is Craigslist. And the average there, $788. You could find them as cheap as $350 on Craigslist. But I don't know how you guys feel about Craigslist. My wife loves it. I always feel like it's a little shady. But that's where you can find some good breeders. And of course, just doing a Google search, a lot of breeders nowadays have their own website, and they'll be able to pop up. And you just want to be able to call them and talk to them about like any health issues that you might be concerned about as far as the mother or the father, and just get a feel for, is this someone that I'd like to purchase a dog from? And then what I haven't done, and I think I'm going to do this in the future, is call around at different pet stores and just get an average price of what a Boston Terrier costs in the pet store. But the main reason I want to do this video is to let you know it is possible to find a purebred Boston Terrier under $1,000. And really going above that, like I said before, unless you're planning on having like a show dog, which I don't even understand or know how that works. Going to do a little more research into that. But I would assume that it really depends on the bloodline to go to those shows. I don't know. So that'd be the only reason I could think of as far as spending more than $1,000 on a Boston Terrier. One good perk, so me and my sister, we just took my daughter and my nieces and nephews over to a pet store a couple weeks ago. I have some of the pictures on the site. But we asked to see some of the dogs. It wasn't the Boston that we were playing with, but as far as getting a price, the lady asked, "You're planning on buying a dog today?" We're like, "No." And then whenever she left to go get the price, she never even came back. So it feels like you're buying a used car whenever you go into a pet store. So just be prepared for that. One good thing, I would never recommend this, but one nice thing is if you go to a pet store, you can finance it. I heard them over talking. They do offer 0% financing if you want to get a puppy. And that's pretty nice, but you're going to be paying a bit of a premium getting it from the pet store. With that said, they're typically going to have all their shots and everything's going to be up to date. As well as a reputable breeder, they're going to do the same. So you want to, whenever you do purchase a dog, make sure you get that type of records. What are their shot records that they already have? Any health concerns of the parents, because whenever you take your dog to a vet, they're going to ask these questions. So hope this video helped. Please, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And any questions outside of cost, just regular Boston Terrier questions, ask them, and then I'll be sure to do a video or make a post. And as always, you can go to BostonTerrierSociety.com to find great information on how to raise Bostons and anything from is it safe for my Boston Terrier to eat a grape to when should I expect my Boston Terrier to go into heat. It runs the gamut. So thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.